Hey, it's the 1st of May, so I'm told. Happy May Day. It is Wednesday, May 1st, 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day off with us. Thanks for starting your brand new month off with us on the NCW Life channel. Looking forward to today, looking forward to the next 5-6 days. Apple Blossom Festival is in full swing, the centennial, and boy, we got a treat for you. Coming up in the second half of the program, all the way from New Zealand, the Grand Marshals of the Milk Growers Grand Parade. They paid me a visit yesterday. As you might imagine, they have a very busy schedule of appearances and all kinds of cool things. I'm talking about Mark Farnham and David Wright. They are the great-grandsons of the lovely woman who started this whole thing 100 years ago. I'm talking about Susan Wagner, a native of New Zealand who worked her way with her husband here to North Central Washington, started a little garden party, a little something that she brought with her from New Zealand. A bunch of people showed up. They decided to do it again the next year, and before you know it, it's 100 years later, and the Apple Blossom Festival is going strong. They paid me a visit yesterday, brought me some cool stuff, including my little Kiwi doll. You like that? They brought that from Auckland for me. I don't know what I'm going to name him. Don't even know if it's a he. Come to think of it, it might be a she. I better check that out. Yeah, they brought me some cool gifts. We had a fascinating conversation. You're going to love it. And you're going to see Mark and David all over North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley over the next few days during the Apple Blossom Festival. That is a conversation you don't want to miss. I really enjoyed that. That's coming up. Speaking of enjoying things, a beautiful weather forecast for the next few days anyway, all the way into the weekend. It's looking fantabulous indeed. Saturday is the day that everybody pins their hopes that we're going to have just a beautiful day for the Milk Growers Grand Parade. It's going to be gorgeous. Can't wait to give you that weather forecast. A little windy tomorrow night. That's really about it. We're looking good. Forecast details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. A lot of sports. A nice win for the Wenatchee Panther boys soccer team last night. Our cameras were there. It was senior night, their last regular season game of the year in Big Nine competition. We got highlights from their victory over the Davis Pirates coming up when we do sports. We have the obscure holiday of the day today. Not so obscure. It's May Day. You know that. We also have today in history, a couple of very special birthdays to pass along to you, and everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. I'm ready. You're ready. It's 41 degrees. It's a little chilly. Let's go around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Megan pushes the buttons, and you and I take a look. We have a few passing high clouds. No big deal. They're not going to be hanging around a great deal. Going to be mostly sunny today and considerably warmer. We're going to top off at 68. We only hit 64 yesterday, just a little below normal. Our normal high on the last day of April would be 66. By the way, yesterday's low, 34 degrees, was only 2 off the record low. We got down to, it was 34 yesterday. The record low was 32. That was set back in 1972. We almost got there. Our normal low is supposed to be 44. So yeah, it was a chilly morning yesterday. A little on the cool side right now at 41 degrees, but it ain't bad. And by the way, 14 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. The sun came up at 5:44. It's going to be hanging around until 8:12 this evening. The Wenatchee Valley with some filtered sunshine begins our festivities today on this Wednesday. Camera 2, where are we going, Megan? I don't know. We find out together. We're going to go visit the Omi Gardens camera, and it's pulled back quite a bit. So the Baker Flats industrial area, you can see plain as day. You can see Rocky Reach Dam. You can see the hillside above Omi Gardens. We mentioned this, the Apple Blossom Festival is 100 years old. Also celebrating their centennial this year is the Liberty Theater, and Omi Gardens is 90 years old this year. They got all kinds of cool stuff planned all through the spring, summer, and fall of 2019. Beautiful view from the cliff edge above Omi Gardens, courtesy of Sky-Fi. Where are we going next, Megan? We're going to go see Union Valley, I'm guessing, Megan? Hey, I got it right. Beautiful Lake Chelan. Look at all that green all over the place there. Everybody's all still greened up because, of course, there's still a lot of moisture in the soil. It will dry out. We will eventually have our wildfire season, which we have every year. It's not welcomed, but it's inevitable the way things are nowadays. Beautiful view of Lake Chelan. You can just make out the Upper Butte and the other areas. It's just beautiful. Gorgeous up there. They got a big party coming up. The Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival is coming up in a couple of weekends. You're going to be hearing a lot about that. That's going to be a blast. Camera 4, I guess. I've almost lost track. Okay. Going to make me work on this one. Steins. What am I looking at, Megan? I'm sorry? That is also. Oh, that's the McNeil Canyon camera. That's what that is. Couldn't quite make out the lake in the very middle of your picture, the top of McNeil Canyon on your way up to, well, you can go up there and head on up to Waterville or head on off to wherever you want to head off to, McNeil Canyon. Beautiful view there, very high elevation. That's how these towers work. In order to get internet, really fast internet without fiber to your home, all you have to be able to do is to be able to stand in your yard and say, I can see the top of McNeil Canyon, or I can see the Butte, or I can see Bear Mountain, or I can see Union Valley, and boom, you can get high-speed internet and no fiber needed. Give local telecall. They'll take care of you. They're good folks there. 6 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday, the first day of May, from the National Weather Service. Here's your forecast. Nothing but smiles here. Liking this. Lots of sunshine today, just some filtered clouds here and there. High of about 68. The weather looks fantabulous for another day of our live news broadcasts from Memorial Park. That'll happen at 5 o'clock tonight. Clear skies for the most part tonight, 44 for the overnight low. Little wind picking up tonight. And the only real blip in the forecast is going to be Thursday. It's going to be nice. It's going to be sunny and a high of 68, but a little on the windy side. Wind out of the west about 6 to 8 miles an hour. It's going to stay that way into Thursday night. And then Friday, sunshine, very little wind, high of 73. Look at Saturday. Sunny, 78. Look at Sunday. Sunny, 78. Monday and Tuesday, as we clean up the town and get back to normalcy, still beautiful spring weather. Yeah, you gotta love it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. No complaints there at all. Again, a little windy Thursday and Thursday night. The winds calm down on Friday, and we got nothing but sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows right into the big weekend. Perfect weather for the centennial celebration of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. I love it. All right, 7 minutes after the hour, go grab your cup of coffee and your English muffin or your orange juice or your omelet or your bacon and eggs or your hash browns or your waffles or your pancakes or your ham and eggs or your chicken fried steak. Whatever it is you're going to eat for breakfast, and come back and visit me in 1 minute. We'll have your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
We get to a point where people are really like, okay, I have these weird things going on, and they just lay it all out with us. And you can tell they're like kind of embarrassed, and we're like, we've heard it all, we love this, and we know exactly what you're talking about. And you can tell they're like, you know, they came in thinking, how am I gonna talk about this?
To me, there's nothing else in the world quite as special as when a baby is born. And why would I want to do anything else?
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
Welcome back. High clouds, 41 degrees at 9 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday, the first day of May, 2019. Here's what's making headlines. A Moses Lake woman was killed in a 2-vehicle accident shortly after 9 last night at the intersection of State Route 283 and Road 9 Northwest, about 6 miles south of Ephrata. The Washington State Patrol reports 33-year-old Monica Gonzalez was killed when the car she was a passenger in, being driven by 38-year-old Andrew Gilbert of Moses Lake, was struck broadside by a Toyota Sequoia being driven by 54-year-old Kelly Riggs of Ephrata. The State Patrol report says the car Gonzalez and Gilbert were in was traveling eastbound on Road 9, had stopped at the stop sign at the intersection, and then pulled out in front of the Sequoia that was traveling northbound on State Route 283. Riggs and 5 other passengers in the Sequoia were transported by ambulance to Columbia Basin Hospital with minor injuries. Gilbert was also taken to Columbia Basin Hospital with minor injuries. He faces charges of failure to yield the right-of-way. Drugs and alcohol were not a factor in that accident. Well, it was standing room only Tuesday at the Leavenworth Fest Hall for a public hearing on the highly publicized adventure theme park proposal. Chelan County Hearing Examiner Andy Kottkamp presided over the hearing. You heard testimony from dozens of people over the course of the all-day meeting. The vast majority of those who testified oppose the project, citing issues such as traffic, parking, noise, and aesthetics.
Piece of iconic property that is the crown jewel of our west-facing view. To say this doesn't make sense is an understatement. This endorsement would be a complete hypocrisy. Our leadership has failed this community. What explains this action that would be so disruptive to the quality of life for so many that live here? I challenge the community to demand accountability. Surely greed, collusion, and conflict of interest are key players.
The proposed 10-acre park would include an alpine coaster and other attractions on a hillside above Icicle Road and Highway 2. The project has been controversial from the start. After numerous objections last summer, developer John Sutherland withdrew and then resubmitted his application. With numerous mitigation requirements, it has cleared most city and state environmental hurdles. A final hearing examiner ruling is pending. Well, a new industry looking to start production in Wenatchee. Chelan County PD commissioners on Monday reviewed the agreements needed to provide up to 19 megawatts of power to the new Diamond Foundry business by the requested date of March 2020. It's a San Francisco-based gemstone manufacturer. They're leasing space from Stamil to set up a new plant in Wenatchee. The property owner proposed a customer-built substation to power the operation because there's simply not enough PUD substation capacity to meet the load at that location. The PUD, Stamil, and the City of Wenatchee planners have determined that the best location is next to the PUD's North Wenatchee substation off Holly Street. It's close to transmission lines, and it supports the city's long-range plans for Confluence Parkway. PUD staff are targeting June 3rd for action on the Diamond Foundry Power contract. Well, the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest will be under new management starting next week. Forest Supervisor Mike Williams is retiring. In fact, he steps down on Friday. Williams leaves after serving as the forest's chief ranger since 2015. Scott Tannenberg has been appointed to serve as acting supervisor until a new full-time supervisor is selected. Tannenberg comes to Wenatchee from Sonora, California. He served as deputy supervisor of the Stanislaus National Forest. He started his career with the U.S. Forest Service back in 2000. He began his Forest Service career in Salt Lake City. From there, he's worked as a hydrologist on forests in Okanagan, South Dakota, Wyoming, and California. Well, anybody driving in the Plain Lake Wenatchee area on Friday morning and Friday afternoon may experience delays as the Tour de Bloom bicycle race winds its way through the area. Organizers are expecting about 300 cyclists for the race. It begins at Plain at 8 a.m. and it finishes at the top of Beaver Hill at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies will be leading each race group out. Volunteers from the Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue will be controlling traffic at most intersections. And finally, it's a new tradition around here. I did this last year. I go to Memorial Park and I have the tough assignment of walking around and deciding what to have for lunch, and I sample the awesome food at Memorial Park. And yesterday I went and had myself a gyro. Well, here we are for another year of eating food at Memorial Park. And I just want to remind you, as a public service of the NCW Live channel, that during the 11 days of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Wenatchee Municipal Code number 5.28.090 prohibits all dogs in the park. All dogs in the park, but they do allow food. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. What is the pronunciation? Is it gyros or euros? Let's find out. How are you? I'm Dan.
Daniel.
Dan, yeah. What's your name? Daniel. Your name is, you and I have the same name?
Yes.
Well, no, handsome too, I might add.
Yeah.
What's the pronunciation? Is it gyro or is it gyro?
Gyros, yes. Traditional Greek, and they take the name over this. In Greek way, they call it around. In Greek, it's a gyro. That's how they take the name.
I'm to be straight out with you. I've never had one of these. So what do you recommend for a gyro novice?
The lamb.
We're making a gyro, formerly known as a gyro. He's going to make me one, and then I'm going to eat it. Woohoo! Daniel is doing the right thing and washing his hands on a regular basis. Tomorrow, of course, is May 1st, and I'll be washing my hands. First day of the month. It's important that these go in at the right layer, right? At the right, the meat and then all that stuff. That's very important. How come you're not in school? Oh, Cool. I was homeschooled. Yeah, just graduated. I'm 54. How long have you been coming to the Apple Blossom Festival?
29 years. I was working the restaurant business, you know, for all my life. Before I come to America, I was working in the restaurant business. And believe me, I have the best tzatziki, and I compete with anybody.
Oh, yeah. And I'm
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to eat this right now. You're doing a heck of a job, by the way. I don't care what Daniel says. Let's go eat this. You're homeschooled, right?
Yeah,
Who's your favorite teacher?
that person.
You like being homeschooled? You like it?
Yeah, it's all right.
That's all right, yeah. I agree with you. I've never had one of these before. It looks mighty good. It smells fantastic. I'm going in. I can see why people like this a lot. A lot of lamb flavor, and the combination. Do you want to get a little bit of everything in every bite? Makes me wish I lived in Greece. This is a solid 9. A solid 9. Get them. Euros. Daniel's making them, and they're well worth it. I may have to have another. Be good. Well, that was our first visit. I highly recommend it. Daniel is a great guy, and a friendly reminder, if you stand right in the middle of the sidewalk that runs up and down Orondo Street, you're going to get in people's way, and then people won't like you anymore. And I need the ratings. I can't afford that. On behalf of the NCW Live channel, I'm the soon-to-be unemployed Dan Kuntz. Once again, no dogs in the park. It's a tough job, but well, somebody's got to do it. And special thanks to my son photographer, M. Tucker Wagner, Esquire, Kashmir, Washington, USA, for tagging along. And yeah, well, about, I don't know, 11:30, 11:45 or so this morning, I'll be dropping by the food fair again and tasting the epicureal delights that is the Apple Blossom Food Fair. And it's a big social event. Every time I go there, I run into dozens of people I know. It's a lot of fun. You can check it out, too. In fact, you can check out our news as we do it live at Memorial Park. We'll do it again tonight, and we'll do it again on Thursday night. Yeah, Grant Olson, Eric Grandstrom, Marion, Rachel, Tucker, the whole crew will be hanging around doing our news live right next to the Apple Blossom booth itself, which is right adjacent to the beer garden. That's how you can find us. And we'll do it live at 5 o'clock tonight. Then we'll replay back at 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock so you can find out what happened on this first day of May. Come by and see how we do it. Maybe we'll learn how we're doing it by the time we figure this thing out. And Friday, by the way, our news will be live from the Local Telecommunications campus, the parking lot right outside of Local Tel on Grand Road in East Wenatchee, because we'll be broadcasting the Stimulk Growers. We'll be broadcasting the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday and the Stimulk Growers Grand Parade on Saturday. There, I got all that out. And if you want to give us a hand, we'd love to hear from you. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. You can drop us a line via the email, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our website. It's a pretty cool little website. We like it. ncwlife.com. Check it out, and you can see our news that way. You can watch all of our programs that way. You can get a hold of us that way. We have a Connect with Us, Contact Us button on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You can go to our Twitter handle. You can go to our Facebook page. We embrace technology around here. We don't understand it, but we embrace it. Kind of like family, I guess. It is 19 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports, lots of prep action from yesterday, including highlights from a big Wenatchee soccer victory at Leave Off the Field at the Apple Bowl. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi everyone, this is Brent Crowder. After 13 years with the Town Auto Group, I have returned home to Town Toyota where it all started. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, let me help you find the right one at the right price. Toyota is reliable and trustworthy, and you can count on me to be the same. When it comes to buying your next car, you can't go wrong with Toyota and Crowder. Ask for Brent at Town Toyota or call me now at 888-5000.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. 21 minutes after the hour. We have a few high clouds and 41 degrees. Quite a bit of sunshine today, upper 60s. And if you're just joining us, sunshine and a high of 76 on Saturday, the big day. Let's do sports. Jose Camarillo's scored the only goal in the second overtime. Wenatchee gets past Davis 1-0 last night. It was rather appropriate that the Panthers senior would pull off the feat because it was senior night. Wenatchee celebrated the 13 upperclassmen on their roster. It was a scoreless first half, and the game picked up rather frenetically in the second half as it wore on. One Wenatchee attack after another, but despite several close chances, the game would go into overtime and then a second overtime before Camarillo scored his 17th goal of the season, which, by the way, ties the Panther single-season record. Our good friends Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen were there with the call on the NCW Life Channel.
Camarillo en Viramontes, Camarillo! Shepard! And it sails past the upright. By Nava, into the box, and sent right out by Reynaga, into the box now. The shot across, and it sails past the upright. Throw in. Pivoting header, this, and a beautiful save, the second try! Reynaga, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black jerseys. Camarillo! Oh, my word. There's Galindo. Swept away once again. Into the box, the shot. Camarillo, Chilena! Bicycle kick that deserved better. Viramontes trying to connect with Wisen. Wisen, shot across!
Oh.
Who's going to send it in? Gillen! And there's the whistle that tells us that we're going to overtime here at the Apple Bowl. Reynaga. Oh my goodness, that almost fooled the eyes there. Viramontes approaching the box. Viramontes, he's gonna run out of room. He doesn't. There's the shot. Cannot connect with Camarillo. There's a throw by Rocha. And a throw for Wenatchee. Wisen. The header. Goal, 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 goal! Who else? Jose Camarillo. And Wenatchee walks away a winner by 1-0. Matt Wisen, all yours.
Awesome finish. Great throw in and assist there. Wenatchee just not giving up on that. Keep pressing and find the winner.
And that is how it ends, to the relief of the dozens upon dozens of people we talked about earlier. Jose Camarillo with the game winner in the 88th minute.
We were in this game not to sit back and defend. We were going all out to get goals. We've been struggling all season, and we create chances, but we just can't quite get the bounce. And we finally got one there at the end on a great goal.
Just Tyler hit the shot. I just had to flick it. Knew the keeper was up a little bit. Just went right in the corner.
Now, I know that I'm reading between the lines here, but there was a huge expression of relief in the celebration. Were you guys feeling the pressure of winning this game before it went to penalty kick shootout?
Yeah, we just had a couple of chances, and we had to put one in.
You have tied a season record for an individual goal scorer with 17. How does that feel, being in the record books of your alma mater?
I mean, feels good, but it's better if we get the win with our teammates and move on forward to the next game.
So Wenatchee gets the win 1-0, and now they await the outcome of tonight's matchup between Sunnyside and Eisenhower to determine if they're going to be the number 1 or number 2 seed into the postseason. That would mean either a district play-in game Friday at home if they're the number 3 seed. If they're a number 2 seed, they get a bye into the first round of districts, and they'll play at home next Tuesday. We'll let you know tomorrow. Also last night, Cascade, as you see there, crushed Omak 7-0, and Okanagan edged Chelan 4-3. Turning to the Les Schwab Prep baseball scoreboard, that's a typo. Sorry about that, folks. Actually, Eisenhower defeated Wenatchee last night. Sorry about that. That's an oops on our part. Panthers still trying to figure out if they're going to finish second or third in the Columbia Basin Big Nine. Moses Lake has already clinched the number 1 seed heading into the districts. By the way, the Wenatchee and Eisenhower will play a doubleheader in Yakima on Friday. By the way, as you see there, Okanagan edged Kashmir 10-9. Let's do prep softball action on Tuesday, courtesy of our friends at Les Schwab. Moses Lake shut out Eastmont 11-0. Wenatchee 10-run to Ike, 11-1. Omak and Chelan split a doubleheader. The Pioneers took the opener 12-8, but the Goats came back to win big, 23-2, and Okanagan shut down Kashmir 19-1. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse team victorious last night on the road at Sela. Wenatchee won 14-1. They'll host Richland tomorrow night at 7 in the Apple Bowl in a battle for first place in the Central Division. Wenatchee swept the Battle of the Bridge tennis matches with Eastmont yesterday. No real problem. 7-0 for the boys, 7-0 for the girls. The only other score that we got was Kashmir, the boys down in Okanagan, 5-0. Wenatchee hosted the Big Nine, the sixth pod at Three Lakes Golf Course yesterday for the boys. West Valley came out on top with a team score of 315. Wenatchee was second at 328. Eastmont third at 351. The Rams' Jack Sultan, medalist. He shot a 70, a 1 over par 70. That's good. Wenatchee's Trey Stegeman shot a 77 to finish third. Teammate Hunter Swartz was fourth with a 79. Let's talk about the Mariners. Kyle Schwarber's 2-run home run in the top of the eighth, the game winner for Chicago. The Cubs edged Seattle 6-5 at T-Mobile Park. Chicago got to the Mariners starter Felix Hernandez for a couple of home runs in his 6 innings of work to go with his 8 strikeouts. The back-and-forth contest saw Seattle take the lead twice, first and the fourth, on a 3-run frame to lead 3-2. Following Anthony Rizzo's 2-run home run in the top of the 6th, Seattle tied it in the bottom half of the inning on an RBI base hit by Deke Gordon. They regained the lead in the 7th on Edwin Encarnacion's 8th home run of the season. Seattle sends Marco Gonzalez to the mound. Try and snap a 3-game losing streak. It's an afternoon game. Chicago goes with John Lester. First pitch, 3:40. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday morning. That's sports at 7:27. It is the first day of May. First of all, it's a new month, and the month of May is Date Your Mate Month, Foster Care Month, Lupus Awareness Month, National Barbecue Month, Bike Month, Blood Pressure Month, Hamburger Month, Photograph Month, Recommitment Month, Salad Month, and it's the 5th month. But of course, the first day of May is May Day, Workers' Day, International Workers' Day. In many, many countries, it's actually Labor Day. We don't do Labor Day until September. The first Monday in September was not always the first choice for Labor Day here. They wanted it to be May 1st because of the famous Haymarket Affair in Chicago back in 1886. In any event, over the years, May 1st has developed with all kinds of demonstrations for workers' rights. It's very big, obviously, in communist countries, specifically North Korea and the People's Republic of China. Lots of different ways to celebrate, or I don't know if you celebrate is the word. What's the word? Observe. I guess observe is the word. Thank you, Megan. There's going to be demonstrations. There's going to be marchers marching in the streets. But hey, in this country, so long as you don't disrupt other people's business and lives, you're free to do that. Happy May Day, the first day of May. In many places, of course, it is Labor Day. All right, let's do Today in History. Happy 88th birthday to the Empire State Building. May 1st, 1931, the Empire State Building dedicated in New York City. For 42 years, it was the tallest skyscraper in the world for a long time, from the day it opened until it was surpassed in October of 1970 by the North Tower of the World Trade Center. 12 TV stations and 19 radio stations have their transmitters on the mast of the Empire State Building. There are 2 observation decks. I've been on both of them, the 86th floor and the 102nd floor. They're the most popular observation decks in New York City. In fact, the company that owns the Empire State Building takes more money in per year from tourists than they actually do from collecting rent from the tenants in the building. That's how popular the observation decks are. One of the iconic structures in all the world, the Empire State Building, is 88 years old today. And happy 48th birthday to Amtrak. The National Railroad Passenger Corporation took over the operations of all passenger rail service in the United States. Obviously, the railroads have been going downhill for quite a period of time throughout the 1960s. There was a great deal of talk of simply eliminating passenger railroad. The private companies that were running passenger railroads were losing money hand over fist, so Amtrak took over. In its first full year of operations, they carried a little over 16 million passengers. Last year, they carried 32 million passengers. In fact, every year since Amtrak took over passenger service for railroads, it has gone up every year, and it's now doubled the total that it was when Amtrak first took over the business 48 years ago today. Finally, birthdays, 2 of them, family members. They're easy to remember because they're father and daughter. First of all, that's my brother Mike and his lovely wife, Karen. Mike celebrates his 63rd birthday today. He was born on May 1st, and sure enough, a number of years later, his daughter Rachel was also born on May 1st. We have a photo of Rachel and Zach. There they are. There's Rachel and her boyfriend Zach, 2 of my favorite people. So Mike is 63. His daughter Rachel is 34 years old today. It's funny sometimes about how life works out. Hey, don't forget, that reminds me, I haven't done this in a while. If you got a local celebrity who's celebrating a birthday, let me know about it. Go to our Facebook page and message me. And I think we have a birthday club submission form still available for you to do it by going to our website at ncwlife.com. Don't forget, everyone's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion coming up, and a conversation you don't want to miss. The great-grandsons of Susan Wagner. Susan Wagner was the founder of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival under a different name, but it kind of took. People liked it back in 1920, and they did it in 1921, and they're doing it in 2019. Mark Farnham and David Wright came all the way from New Zealand to participate in the festivities. That conversation, they came in yesterday. We taped it. That conversation is coming up in just a couple of minutes. But before we get to either one of those, once again, I want to talk about our good friends at Weinstein Beverage and Pepsi Cola, who have been sponsoring the Apple Blossom Festival since 1983. And wherever you go, all over the Wenatchee Valley and all over north central Washington, you're going to see these Pepsi cans with the special commemorative logo painted right on it. That logo was designed by my good buddy and classmate Kyle Barnes. It's really cool. People like it. And somehow or another, the folks at Weinstein Beverage made it work so the people who manufacture the Pepsi cans were able to put that logo, that Centennial logo, right on it. So there are commemorative cans all over the place. Pick them up. Pick up a bunch of them. Save them. You could probably sell them on eBay in about 100 years for a lot of money. That's my guess anyway. Check it out, the commemorative Pepsi cans from our friends at Weinstein Beverage. All right, 33 minutes after the hour, Mike McNally is coming up, and then my interview with David and Mark. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
I'm Lehman Williams, General Manager of Crown Furniture, and I'm inviting you to take advantage of our spring closeout savings event. Save up to 45% off store-wide. Since 1963, Crown Furniture has taken great pride in providing unsurpassed quality, comfort, and selection. So if you're looking to fill that first-time apartment, or you want that built-in America quality with your own custom flair, stop by today and see us at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCW Life, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Health Alliance Northwest. The public is invited to watch Rugrat Nation, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament for kids K through 3rd grade, Saturday, May 4th, 2 to 6 p.m. in the East parking lot at Pybus Market. And it's that time of year again for the annual Classic Chassis Car Show. Check out a wide range of classics to new vehicles and vote for your favorite, all at the Eastmont Community Park from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, when it comes to women, President Trump is a pig. I'm sorry. His disrespectful attitude towards women is just beyond the pale. Now, Bill Clinton, he's also a pig for similar reasons. I'm sorry. His willingness to use his power and position to sexually exploit a subordinate in the Oval Office, for all places, comes from the same attitude of disrespect towards women, which is expressed by our current president. Now, this is why, like them or not, I have respect for guys like George W. Bush and Barack Obama, for who all appearances are faithful and respectful husbands and good fathers to their daughters. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Ways to lose stubborn belly fat. The roasted core wrap. 3, 2, 1. Not cool. Freezing away fat cells with Cool Sculpting, now that's cool. Cool Sculpting safely freezes and removes fat cells with little or no downtime and no surgery. Results and patient experience may vary. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Ask your doctor if Cool Sculpting is right for you.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 100 years ago, Susan Wagner, a native of New Zealand who worked her way to North Central Washington, said, you know, where I come from, we have little parties, kind of invite all the town. We just kind of goof off and play music and sing and get to know each other. She said, we do that where I come from. Let's do that here in little old Wenatchee town. This is back in 1920. Little did Susan Wagner know that 100 years later, her little one-day neighborhood potluck has turned into the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, which celebrates its centennial. And what better way to celebrate it than to bring in two relatives, distinct relatives, the great-grandsons of the founder of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. To my far left is David Wright, and to my immediate left is Mark Farnham. And as they talk, you will realize they're not from here. They came all the way from New Zealand.
Thank you.
Welcome to the big city.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Let's first of all, how are you doing jet lag wise? Because obviously you came from the other side of the planet. Are you okay? Is your body all messed up?
No, mine's fine. Coming this way, easy. Going the other way, not so good.
Okay.
I'm slowing down a little bit. I was partying with some friends in Seattle, so I'm still a little bit lagged.
I take it this is your first trip ever to the Wenatchee
Oh,
Valley?
no, this is our second.
Second time. Okay.
Yeah.
The first time was when?
For me, it was 2005.
Okay.
About 13 years ago, whatever that works out. Yeah.
And how are we doing so far? Would great grandma be happy with what we've done?
Oh, definitely. It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Beautifully clean, beautifully laid out. I think she'd be overjoyed.
You know, we're thinking about making this a tradition, David, really, this festival. We're thinking about doing it every year.
Yeah, you think it might catch on?
Yeah. Do you think your great grandmother would have any idea that her little one-day thing would have become what it is now? I mean,
I
really?
think so, yes.
Yeah.
She was a pretty dynamic sort of a lady.
Yeah.
And we've been, both David and I have been researching, and we don't know which festival she modelled it on. I think we're inclined to think that it was her baby. She decided that this is what Wenatchee needed, something to spur it along. You'd had the finish of this Great War in 1918. As her two daughters, New Zealand had a bad flu epidemic, and 8,000 New Zealanders had died in about 3 months, and her daughters had nursed through it, and she'd heard that they were safe. The other thing, that being a feminist, that she was probably thinking of was, and of course Congress were passing the right for women to vote in 1919, where in New Zealand that women got the vote in 1888, and she'd already voted in New Zealand before she came to live in the US.
You didn't really know your great grandmother, right? Is that
No,
correct?
she died in 1953, 2 years before I was born.
Right, but I'm sure you know of her, some famous family stories, things like that.
Everybody in our family knows of her.
And she came and she went back, obviously, to New Zealand, but she brought some of North Central Washington with her, just the way that she brought New Zealand here to the Wenatchee Valley. And you were talking off camera. There's all kinds of little connections, these 7 degrees of separations that you're finding out. Yeah.
Even this trip, we left on the 26th of April, which is exactly the same day that she left in New Zealand 1902 to come to. And then she arrived in San Francisco on the 10th of May, which is the day basically we leave.
Did she talk about, do you know at all whether when she returned to her native New Zealand, she talked about the times that she spent here in North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley? Some of those memories. Do you know any of them?
I don't know of many. No.
Yeah.
She only visited. She was
Right.
definitely a Wenatchee citizen.
Wenatchee
She
citizen.
had never had any intention of ever returning to New Zealand.
When you got the phone call that we're going to fly you out here, all expenses paid for the 100th, what was that like when your phone rang and they said, "You want to come one more time?"
Well,
That's on us.
Said it on the radio. It was with Darcy. I sent an email over. All I wanted was to be able to get something about the documentary.
Yeah.
And because 100 years, I thought, oh, that'd be great, documentary and everything else. The very next day, there's this email comes back saying, "Oh my gosh, can I call you?" And as I said, I sort of thought, what have I done? and it just blossomed from there.
Yeah.
And then she obviously said, she sent back and saying, we would like you to be. And again, I was a little bit apprehensive at the time. I'd just gone through a heart attack, so I was not too sure whether I'd be handling it or not. But I just thought, well, I only live once, got to do it.
Got to do it.
Yep.
Same deal for you?
Well, I always wanted to come, and I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I've always just put it off, and so I thought, what a great opportunity to come. So it meant for me, I'm a bit of a history buff, so it meant swatting up on all the bits of history and trying to patch everything together.
It's funny you brought up work. I probably should ask you, when you're not being interviewed by some goofball on local television, what do you do, Mark and David?
Well, I've had a company for 40 years. I make industrial stencils for spraying markings on roads and apple boxes and the sides of wooden pallets and things.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, apples. It's just funny how this happened. David, what do you do?
I'm mowing lawns and landscaping and gardening and
And one of you brought a pretty good-looking woman with you, too. Who does that belong to?
That's my wife.
Oh, okay. Is she enjoying herself?
I think so. In
Yeah.
fact, she's. We're celebrating 40 years in another month's time.
Oh, cool! Congratulations. So you got a huge itinerary because you're only here for just a short time. Before we get to that, you brought me some gifts there, Mark and David. What did you bring me here, my friend? What is that?
Well, that's the kiwi, which is our national bird, flightless, a bit like us. And he's wearing the black, which is really signifies our national sports colour, and the silver fern, which they wear on it, which is one of our native ferns.
And also, you brought me some Manuka honey. Is that
Yes,
did I
that's
pronounce that
correct,
correctly? And this is a product of New Zealand.
Yes.
And what makes this different from, say, any other honey?
Well, Manuka is a scrub plant. It's it's a regenerative plant.
Okay.
If there's a landslide or anything, the Manuka is the first to grow, so it shelters the slower growing plants. But it has a very prolific bloom, and the bees love it, and it produces a very strong dark honey.
Ooh, I'm looking for it. I'm an English muffin guy. Will that work?
Well, definitely. We've become quite a fan of your show, and when you have your coffee, and we thought that you might like that on your muffin with
Absolutely.
your coffee.
I'm just looking forward to this. Thank you. You have a lot on your itinerary. What are you looking forward to the most? What have you never done before? Are they keeping you super busy? Do you get downtime? Walk me through the next 4 or 5 days, gentlemen.
Certainly super busy, and I'm looking forward to the lot. You know, some of it's outside my comfort zone. I haven't done it before, like sitting here talking to you. And I'm looking forward to doing the whole lot. It's just something that as I said, we've come over here not knowing what to expect. It's an adventure. Let's get on. Let's enjoy it.
What about you? Any one particular event you're looking
No,
forward
I'm
to?
just looking forward to meeting as many Wenatcheeans as I can. Is that the correct term?
That's sure. Wenatcheeites. Wenatcheeites.
I'm just looking for. I'm looking forward to everything. Yeah. It's going to be so much fun.
The parade is going to be probably the one thing you're going to take home with you most of all, because that's the big event. If there's one single event that everybody goes to, it's the Stamel Grovers Grand Parade, and you're gonna well up a lot. There's gonna be some tears. There's gonna be some emotions. I can guarantee it when you're going down that parade route. People are gonna give you a huge ovation. Is Great Grandma looking down from up above?
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that
she is. I think she is. I think she is absolutely.
And certainly, she'll be proud.
Yep.
Yes, very much.
Darcy and the crew taking care of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
The organisation of the festival is just absolutely amazing.
Actually, it's quite good. We have a lady who started it, and we've got a lovely lady down there who is doing it 100 years later.
I would say that comparing Granny Sue to Darcy and just the sheer dynamics, I would say they're very, very similar.
We need to thank two, we'll probably need to spank a few people too, but that would be me. Geico Insurance and Compaq, both of those companies got together and helped pay for the round-trip tickets to get them from New Zealand here to the big city. And that, is a round-trip ticket from New Zealand to Washington State. It's like a couple $100. I mean, so thanks to Geico and Compaq for doing that.
We're most appreciative of their
Is
support.
What's it like when you go around town? You're meeting all these dignitaries and normal Joes like me and everybody else. You're going to stand out because you're the guy. It's just Mark and David, and they're here. What's that like to have people be drawn to you and want to talk to you and be around you?
It's fantastic, just being able to be part of it and actually being able to give our little bit towards your amazing festival.
And I've been a sort of a quiet sort of person, and first thing is let's run a bloody mile.
How much has this town changed since the last time you came here? I mean, it hasn't been that long ago, but
no, it hasn't changed much. It's just so beautifully clean, and everything's just so organized. It's lovely.
Yeah. This is. Can you? I want to ask more questions. I feel like, is there a question you want me to ask you so you can answer it and be clever?
No, just ask anything. Ask away.
I was thinking about Dave. I just want to go back and just.
We'll become a fan of your program. If
oh, jeez.
You're developing a New Zealand following. The funny one was you had an ad for a snowplow or a snow crew, and we didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
We've never witnessed that.
It's early autumn in New Zealand, correct?
Yes,
that's correct. So, but my guess is your climate is pretty temperate. It's
well, yes. About a couple of weeks ago, your climate and ours was on a par, perhaps a little bit cooler in the evening.
Mm-hmm. Outside of that, well, we got great weather. Darcy is. Just come on in, Darcy. It's okay. Darcy's going to join us.
Talk about their shirts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the shirt. Mark and David, talk about your shirts.
Talk about our shirts. This is Ernst Wagner's original apple blossom label from 1908, I think it was.
Wow, E. Wagner and Son, Wenatchee, Washington, USA. That is cool.
Because he's quite the dynamic. I decided to research Wenatchee by going to New Zealand papers, and I didn't realise that because he was such a dynamic man, and in New Zealand, 20% of New Zealanders, or Aucklanders at least, knew where Wenatchee was, because your apples weren't marketed as American apples, largely because the Californians had been shipping them over, and they'd been were damaged on arrival. So Ernst actually marketed them as Wenatchee or Washington State apples, and basically it was just a powerful marketing man that Wenatchee was so well known, and there was so much in the newspapers around 1908 to 1912 about Wenatchee.
That is fascinating. I love those. Those are so cool. Thank you, Darcy. I almost blew that.
It was Diane.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. And yet here we go. You know, it's 100 years later, and we still. I know we don't grow as many apples as we used to, but it's still the best apples to be found anywhere in the world.
Totally.
Yeah, no doubt.
Your climate is just amazing.
Yeah, it's
just
perfect for growing apples. So, do you have one more question before I cut you loose? I know you're busy. Any downtime that Darcy has scheduled where you don't have any commitments, you don't have to meet anybody, you can just chill and relax and enjoy the festival?
Yes, well, I'm going to just wander around talking to as many people as I can.
Likewise, yeah. If they want us to join in on something, yeah.
We should have had a big cricket match. Yes,
David's the cricketer.
Yeah, we should have done that. We should have done that. So, see, I did a little homework myself. Mark and David, it's so great to meet you guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching my show.
Very much.
Yeah, I'm up to like 9 viewers now. I can't believe it.
In New Zealand.
Yeah, it is, and we're going to see you all over the place because we're going to be doing parades. We'll see you everywhere. All right, we're not going to between now and when you guys head on back to.
Well, if you need us for anything, don't hesitate.
We know where to find you.
Yeah, thank you.
We just call Darcy. It's as simple as that. And thanks for coming back. And thanks, Susan, for starting this baby. Yeah. We appreciate it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
Welcome to another edition of Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. Outdoorsmen have been providing fresh food for American family tables for generations. Hunting and fishing is a way of life for our family, and we enjoy cooking delicious fish and game meals.
Oh, that's awesome.
We want to share our recipes with you. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table.
Watch Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table Saturdays and Sundays at 5:30 and 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on the NCW Life channel.
This is Kerry Condata from the 12th District. We are going in session with direct reports from your legislators in Olympia. We'll get the straight story every week. We'll add the national, state, and local news and have it all wrapped up for you right here on the 12th District. Check it out.
Corey here from Rose Tractor, your local Cub Cadet dealer. We've got the all-new Cub Cadet Ultima zero-turn mowers in stock, and they are awesome. The Ultima is like no other zero-turn you've seen. With a box tube frame and available Kawasaki engine, it has unmatched strength and performance, cutting up to 50% faster than lawn tractors. You have to see the Cub Cadet Ultima to believe it. Come on down and experience the Cub Cadet Ultima today.
Welcome back. Got about 4 minutes left on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take a look at that weather forecast here in just a couple of minutes. But something that caught a lot of people's eye yesterday afternoon. We have some more information on this brush fire, kind of a controlled burn. We got some footage of it. This is courtesy of one of our PTZ cameras. This was located in East Wenatchee off of 8th Street. This is the time of year, of course, when property owners will burn their collected brush. They put them in big piles and they burn them, or as the orchards around this area continue to meet their demise and the orchards go out and the housing developments go in, things like that. They take all the trees that they ripped up and they burn those as well. This is that time of the year when this happens. Well, this is what happened yesterday afternoon. Again, this is off 8th Street Northeast about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a controlled burn. It was a brush fire of various twigs and branches and leaves and what have you. It kind of got out of control in a little bit of the winds in the afternoons. Crews showed up. They knocked it down. There is a lot of controlled burns going on this time of the year. And it's just a friendly reminder that you got to be hanging around it all the time, because if you don't pay any attention, the winds can pick up and really let it take off. That's some pretty dramatic footage. So they were able to obviously to contain it and put the fire out. But this is what was going on again yesterday afternoon around 4 o'clock off 8th Street in East Wenatchee. So yeah, this is the time of the year when these things can happen, as controlled brush burns and orchard burns gonna get a little out of control, because Mother Nature may have a say in that. Yeah, it's green, it's spring, but things dry out very quickly around here. It doesn't take much for those fields to get going. So anyway, there's a quick update on that. We'll have more in this story, by the way, with the news tonight with Grant Olson, which reminds me, once again, we're doing the news live at Memorial Park. Grant Olson with the news and the weather, Eric Granson with sports. We will be live at Memorial Park at 5 o'clock tonight. Come by and see us and say hi. We'd love to chit-chat and visit with our viewers. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to do the news outside, both today and Thursday, and then Friday when we do the news from the Local Tel headquarters in East Wenatchee ahead of the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade from the National Weather Service one more time. This will bring smiles to your faces, huh? Yeah, warm and dry weather is on track, and it's going to stay that way. Warm is all relative. That 68 you see there is actually just about normal for this time of year. It was a little chilly yesterday, only 64. And if you're just joining us, yesterday's low, Tuesday's low, is 34. That was only 2 degrees off the record that was set back in 1972. We're not going to get anywhere near that, because all that cold air that came in over the weekend from the Gulf of Alaska is now pretty much leaving the area. We will have mostly clear skies at night and lots of sunshine during the day. High of 68 with some filtered sunshine, no big deal there. Clear tonight, 44 for the overnight lows. Sunshine on Thursday. A little breezy at times Thursday. There'll be a wind, west wind about 6 to 8 miles an hour. Gusts up 15, 16 miles an hour possible on Thursday and Thursday night. But that's just a weak little northwest flow. It's going to be out of here. Looking good on Friday. Sunshine and a high of 73 degrees. Sunshine and a high of 78 on Saturday. That, of course, is for the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade. And then we wrap everything up on Sunday with another beautiful day. Lots of sunshine and a high of 78. Sunshine Monday, sunshine Tuesday. Can't ask for a better weather forecast from the National Weather Service, and better weather from Mother Nature than that for the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Looking forward to that. Yep, we'll be doing the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Grant Road in East Wenatchee. We'll do the news from 5 to 5:30. We'll take a quick half-hour break. And then beginning at 6 o'clock with Grant Olson and Brent Crowder. They'll be calling the action as the classic cars and a few bands and some newer cars and some muscle cars and some unique trucks come down Grant Road from Eastmont Community Park and then down Valley Mall Parkway for the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade. And then the big event of the entire weekend, the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade. If you can't go out and enjoy the parade, and everybody loves a parade, all the festivities and the bands and the floats and the entries and the dignitaries, if you can't make it for whatever reason on a beautiful Saturday, we will have it for you live. We'll take to the air at 10:30. The parade begins at 11. Provided this show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care and bye-bye.